Okay, in the earlier class, we were discussing about applications of Smith chart, ZY Smith chart. So ZY Smith chart is can be used to find many transmission line parameters. Okay, am I audible? Hello, hello, audible? Shilpa Shri, audible? Hello.
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Yes, I'm audible.
Okay. So in the earlier class we were discussing we can use a Smith chart to find transmission line parameters. We can find reflection coefficient, VSWR, input impedance, and also unknown load. We can find using Smith chart easily without using equations. Okay, so if you use the equations, we have to solve the equation and using complex numbers. So instead of that, we can make use of Smith chart to find the different parameters over the transmission line. And another application what we are studying in today's class, it is designing a stub design. Okay, stub design. We studied the stubs, short circuit and open circuit stubs in the earlier classes. Okay, you can use a short and open circuit stubs. See, like this is a stub called a short circuited transmission line. That means load ZL equal to 0. Okay, short circuited transmission line. It is also called as a stub. In the earlier class we were discussing about this. Similarly, open circuit stub. This is a open circuit stub. Okay, using these open and short circuited stubs, we can implement inductors and capacitor, lumped elements at RF and microwave frequency, because we cannot get a lumped elements like inductor, capacitor or resistor at RF and microwave frequency. It is difficult to implement because of a size problem. Okay, so instead of using those lumped elements, we can implement inductor and capacitor using these open and short circuited transmission lines. Okay, so that we discussed in the earlier class. Based on the value of inductor needed, so the input impedance here, a piece of transmission line based on the value of length of this line, that is the distance from the load. Okay, d, length of the line, it will provide a particular value of reactance here. Okay, the length decides here the input reactance here. So for the short circuited transmission line like this, it is the load value ZL equal to 0. Input impedance is given by this equation. So it is nothing but a reactance here. This is the reactance here. Jx, we can call it this Z0 and beta d. It is a x value here. Jx. So input impedance, it is a only reactive element will be there. So you take a transmission line, its length may be of any length, short circuited, okay, or open circuit also. Okay, the input impedance is always reactive here. It may be if you go on moving like this over a transmission line, starting from load point, go on moving, you measure the impedance. Okay, that impedance value is always reactance. It doesn't have a real value of real part. Impedance varies here. Impedance will vary. Okay, it will take a maximum value, minimum value, whatever it is. But all values are reactive values. Okay. Here as we move like this over a transmission line, we will be getting reactance, a different value of reactance. Okay, reactance means that is associated with either inductor or a capacitor. Positive reactance is associated with the inductor and negative reactance associated with the capacitance. So that reactance here, input reactance, if you measure here, that depends upon the length here. Here reactance changes means inductor value changes and a capacitor value changes. It's okay. X value changes here. This x depends upon the d. What is this d? Length of the line, d. Okay, this changes, d changes, input impedance changes. X value changes here. For example, this is a particular transmission line with a characteristic impedance Z0. Okay, it has a some value Z0 here. Okay, fixed, assume. Okay, then this term, this is the x here. Okay, x value depends upon the d, distance here, length, what is the length you are taken. So you can change this value, x value, by changing the value of d, that is input impedance here. So it behaves like a capacitor, positive, some for some values of d, Okay, in the here this entire may be positive, and for some values of d it is a negative here, that we discussed in the earlier class. Okay, so like so if it is a reactance and depends upon the d, reactance changes means l value and the c value changes here. Okay, so we can get a particular value of l or c value from the transmission lines like this short circuited transmission line. Similarly, open circuited transmission line also, it's a okay, this is I have written for short, but how to implement the capacitor. Okay, this is for how to implement a inductor, given value of inductor, how to implement using a short circuited transmission line or shorted stub. Shorted stub here, which is called a shorted stub. Okay, based on your length, based on your l value, what is the value of l needed, you can get a value of this distance. What is the value of distance, or for a particular value of distance it offers that particular value of inductor. See, if you take a particular length here, d value, corresponding to that input impedance is a inductor here. Some value of inductor it will offer based on this value. Other based on the requirement L, if you want a particular value of L, you can find out the value of this. Okay, that we studied. Okay, this is a equation here, DSCL. That means short circuited transmission line length here for inductor implementation. This equation you can use, given L, whatever the inductor value needed, it may be 1 Henry, 2 Henry, whatever it is. Okay, you can get the length of the line. What is the length of the line? Okay, you take that particular length. Okay, short circuited at one end, transmission line short circuited at one end, and has a characteristic impedance or not. Okay, but you take a particular length using this equation based on your requirement L value, you set that length. Okay, you will be getting that L value here. You can use this as a stub, or you can use it as a inductor. I already given this in the earlier class. Okay, so now you can use this as a inductor. What is the requirement here? Based on the L value, whatever the L needed here, you should find out this length, but you should use this equation. See, this is the equation you're supposed to use for calculating this length of line. So sometimes you may feel difficult to find using tan inverse and all we have to do and all. Okay, instead of this you can use a Smith chart to find out the length of the line, this based on your L value. Okay, based on this L, you can find out this distance using a Smith chart easily. Okay, that we will see how to find this length of the line based on the L value needed here, or capacitor value needed. See, for example, I want a particular value of capacitor, length of the line. How to find out length? This is the equation I have given. How to short circuited you can use a shorted transmission line to implement both inductor and capacitor. Okay, in short circuited line you can use to implement the inductor using this equation, but to same transmission line, short circuited line, you can use to implement the capacitor at the input here using this equation. You should calculate the length of the line using this equation. What is the length of the line to find or get that particular value of capacitor here. Okay, input capacitor. Okay, so we will see now, instead of using this equation or this equation to implement a inductor and capacitor using shorted stub. Today we are studying about shorted stub. See, this is a shorted stub. They are called a shorted stub because ZL value is 0. Here is 0, 0. Okay, using this transmission line, it's a piece of transmission line, but it has a particular length based on the L value and C value. See, like L value and C value, you can get a length. Okay, but instead of using these equations, this and this equation, you can use the Smith chart to find this distance, this distance or this distance based on the value of L and C easily from the Smith chart. That we will discuss today. Okay, how to use a Smith chart to find this length based on our L value. Similarly, how to find out a C based on our how to find out a distance, length of the line. Okay, based on this C. Okay, Okay, whatever the inductor value or capacitor value required, what you need to do, just to you find out the length of the line. What is the length of the line to provide that particular value of inductor or a capacitor? That's all here. The length decides here the value of inductor and a capacitor, this length. Okay, so we have to find out that length, what value of length gives the required value of C here, and similarly what value of this length gives a required value of inductor. Okay, so we will find, see how to find that. In the earlier class we were studied this also, how to this using equations we calculated. You see here, in the earlier class we calculated the length of the line to get a particular inductor. This question is there. See, in the design of low noise amplifier using a bipolar transistor in a common emitter configuration, it is often useful to introduce a little inductance between the emitter and the ground. Okay, between emitter and ground always needs to introduce some inductor. This is known as inductive degeneration in that amplifier design. Okay, it can be difficult to find suitable inductors, especially for operation in RF and microwave frequency range. So lumped element, if you try to get that degenerative inductive element, inductor we have to use to get that inductor value for that higher frequency, it is very difficult. So what they are doing, they are implementing that using a microstrip line, transmission line. This is a transmission line, not only two wire. This whatever the symbol we are providing, it is for microstrip line also. Okay, so microstrip line with a characteristic impedance 50 ohm and a phase velocity 0.6 C. Okay, we can use microstrip line to implement the inductor. So the required value of inductor is to connect between the emitter and ground. What inductor value they needed? 2.2 nanohenry. What is the operating frequency? 6 gigahertz. 6 gigahertz is the operating frequency. They want to connect 2.2 nanohenry between ground and emitter. 2.0 nano. It is difficult to get lumped element. So how do they do this? They are implementing this using microstrip line, transmission line. Okay, at a 6 gigahertz. But if you once we come across instead of a air filled transmission line, okay, other than air filled transmission line, velocity is different. It is not equal to velocity in the air. Velocity in microstrip line is 0.6 times C. They have provided here. They provided 0.6 C velocity in the microstrip line. It is not same as velocity in the free space. Okay, it is 0.6 times so velocity in the free space. So how to implement this 2.2 nanohenry at 6 gigahertz? Again, to get a 2.2 nanohenry using a shorted stub, for example, shorted stub they ask you to use. Okay, only thing is you should find out what should be the length of the line. Okay, what should be the length of the line to get that particular value of inductor at 6 gigahertz. Length depends upon this distance depends upon frequency. Okay, and value, inductor value 2.2 nanohenry, because frequency is there, you see here omega into L. It depends upon the frequency and the required value of inductor. What is the value of inductor needed? 2.2 nanohenry and 6 gigahertz. So using this equation we got the value in the earlier class, 4.88 mm. What is the length of the line? Here we did this problem in the earlier class. What is the length of the line required? 4.88 mm. 4.88 mm. Okay, at 6 gigahertz. Okay, just just imagine what is the size of that mm. 5 mm. 5 mm transmission line, microstrip line behaves like a inductor. Okay, see like this. Okay, its characteristic impedance is 50 ohm. We got it from this equation. This is the equation we used and we have obtained this 4.88 mm. Okay, so now instead of using this equation, you can use a Smith chart easily to find this value. Okay, so to do that, what we have to do, see here, this is a microstrip line. Okay, microstrip line, so two conductor transmission line, short circuit, microstrip line short circuited here. Okay, ZL value is equal to 0. This is a transmission line anyway. Okay, so what we have to do, this is ZL is 0. Okay, as I move like this over the transmission layer, the problem is similar to the earlier problems. Find out the input impedance at a distance of particular distance of 0.1 mm, sorry, 0.1 lambda from the load. I has given that problem in the quiz also. Find the and assignment and also quiz I have given. From the load, what is the input impedance? Find out the input impedance at a distance of 0.1 lambda. Like that, you are finding the input impedance at a distance of 0.1 lambda. Okay, that question we already did. Okay, for a given load, if you ask you to find what is the impedance at a particular distance, we know already how to do that. Okay, similarly here, see, this is a converse approach. Load is given. Okay, load is given, mark the load on the Smith chart. This is a transmission line. Okay, is it audible? Hello, audible? Hello, audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we know that how to find input impedance for a given distance. Okay, so load will be given, and if they ask you to find out input impedance at a particular point, 0.1 lambda for example, what we do, we are moving like this over a transmission line in the clockwise direction, okay, towards the generator, and we stop whenever distance is equal to 0.1 for example. Okay, that way we were doing input impedance. Here also, what we have to do, see, load is given. This is a transmit, load is given. What is the load here? It is equal to 0 ohm here. Load given is 0 ohm. That's all. Okay, from the load, this is a load. You mark this load on the Smith chart. Marks this load value on the Smith chart. Is this ZL equal to 0? You mark it on the Smith chart. After marking that, you should draw the VSWR circle. You should draw the VSWR circle. Next, what we have to do? On the VSWR circle, first you mark the load ZL. It is ZL in this case. Shorted stub means ZL value equal to 0. You mark it on the Smith chart. Okay, and after that, what we have to do? From our load, okay, wherever it is ZL equal to 0, from there on the VSWR, draw the VSWR circle. Mark the load, draw the VSWR circle. From the load point, you move towards the generator. See, like this, move towards the generator. That means in the clockwise direction. Okay, so so this is like a transmission line problem only to find this distance. Okay, what we have to do, you mark the load. Our load we know, shorted stub we are using. It is a transmission line but a short circuited. Mark this load on the Smith chart. Where is that point on the Smith chart? See here, what is that value? ZL equal to 0. ZL equal to 0 means X value 0, R value 0. Okay, so X value 0, R value 0, where is that point? That here is the point here. R value 0, X value 0. This one, it coincides here. This is a R is equal to 0 circle, last circle, and X value is 0 here along this, on this line, horizontal line, X is 0. So this is a point, R 0 and X 0 coincides here. You mark the value. This is a load point. This load ZL we marked here. Okay. Next, what we have to do, you should draw the VSWR circle. Okay, taking this as a load. This is a load. How to draw the VSWR circle? Take a radius equal to this value from center of the Smith chart to this load value. Okay, take a radius and draw the VSWR circle. What is a VSWR circle? This is a VSWR circle. This is a blue color one, what I am showing here. This is a VSWR circle for this load ZL equal to 0, because our transmission line is connected with a load equal to 0. Okay, that's why we marked our load and we have drawn the VSWR circle. Okay, now what we have to do, from our load point, where is our load? This is a load. This is a VSWR circle here. So from the load point, what we have to do, you go on moving like this. Go on moving like this, and stop wherever the input impedance is the value required you. Okay, required by you. Okay, so here now what is the problem is, see here. Okay, so we marked load here when we have drawn the VSWR circle. So like this. Okay, we marked our load and we have drawn VSWR circle. Next thing is what we have to do. What I want is, I want to get this inductor value 2.2 nanohenry. I want 2.2 nanohenry. 2.2 nanohenry I want. Okay, using equation you can do like this, but using Smith chart to get the distance. Okay, using a Smith chart, what we have to do? I want an inductor of 2.2 nanohenry at 6 gigahertz. Okay, you find out the reactance. What is the reactance I needed here? Okay, respective this x. Okay, see like this. Okay, lambda frequency is given. What is the 6 gigahertz? I want to implement 2.2 nanohenry at 6 gigahertz using 50 ohm line. Okay, at 6 gigahertz means what is the wavelength? Here is because wavelength in the phase velocity is given. So okay, I think 0.6 times lambda. Okay, this is 0.6 times lambda naught, because velocity is 0.6 times. So that's why this is 30 mm. Lambda is equal to 30 mm we got, corresponding to this 6 gigahertz. I want a 2.2 nanohenry at the input side. What I want 2. But you should convert that into reactance. Get the value of what is the reactance I needed? J omega L, omega into L. I want a reactance equal to omega L. What is the reactance I needed? 82.9. What reactance I needed here input side? This value of reactance I needed. To get this value of reactance here input side, what must be this distance? What must be this distance? Okay, that is a question here. What is the reactance I needed corresponding to this value 2.2 nanohenry inductor I needed? For that, what is the reactance? Calculate the reactance XL, omega L. Okay, omega L, you do that. I got 82.9. This value of reactance I needed here. But what I have to, we are using a Smith chart to calculate the distance. So you convert this reactance into normalized value. Normalized means divide by 50. Okay, so that is 1.784 normalized reactance. What normalized reactance I needed? 1.784. Okay, this value of reactance I needed. Okay, so what we have to do to get the distance? This what must be the distance? Okay, what using Smith chart, what you have to do? Take the value of required value of inductor, get the reactance value, normalize that value, normalize this is the actual reactance, normalize this value, that is a normalize. This value of reactance I needed at the input here, input side, this value of reactance I needed. Okay, to get this value of reactance, what should be this distance? Okay, that you can easily do that from the Smith chart. See like this. I want what is the value of reactance I needed? 1.784. Okay, so what we have to do, starting from load point. See, starting from load point, okay, you go on moving towards the generator. Whenever the reactance is 1.784, you stop. Okay, note down the distance. The converse approach, instead of you see, while finding input impedance, what we were doing, from the load point we are traveling like this towards the generator, given distance like a 0.1 lambda. What we were doing, from the load we were moving like this 0.1 lambda and stopping. Okay, and we are finding what is the impedance here. But here is a converse approach. Whenever our required reactance is observed, there you stop and note down the distance. That is a opposite approach here. That's all. Okay, see, as we move like this, we know input impedance is reactive. See, like this we saw already. For a shorted transmission line, impedance over this line is always reactive. That impedance measure at anywhere, it is always reactance. There is no real part. Okay, starting from load. That one what we are observing here. See, on the Smith chart, this load we marked. This is the load, and we have drawn a VSWR circle. This is a VSWR circle. So now you see, if you move over this, starting from here, load point, from here you move like this, go on moving. That means in the clockwise direction. Starting from load, you go on moving like this. What is the value of resistance? Resistance is always 0 only, because on this circle resistance value is 0. Okay, reactance may be anything here. You see here, if you move like this, resistance value remains the same, because we are moving on the R is equal to 0 circle. This is VSWR circle. Moving on VSWR circle means moving on transmission line. Because our load is like this, ZL equal to 0, VSWR circle is like this. This is our VSWR circle. Okay, that's why it is R value is 0 here, because we are moving on R0 circle. But reactance value may be anything here. See, reactance changes. So it shows as we move like this from ZL 0 load, if you move over a transmission line, impedance over the line is reactive. See, like this, it is a here 0.4, this is 0.5, okay, something here 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 1. Reactance value go on changes here. These are the reactance circles. This is a reactance circle, but R circle is 1 only. So impedance is reactive like this. Okay, so start from the load point. Starting from the load point, that means here you move on the VSWR circle. This is our VSWR circle. For that particular, you move, go on moving like this. Okay, go on moving like this. Whenever you find your reactance value, this reactance 1.784, we need it. Okay, so you stop whenever you observe the value of reactance, because R is 0 anyway. We are moving on VSWR circle. Here R is 0 only. Okay, only reactance changes. See, like it is 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. This is 1 year, reactance is 1 year. Okay, but what is I wanted 1.784. Okay, so if move like this, go on moving, whenever it is this is 1.6, 1.4 reactance. See, whenever I come here, this is 1.8, this is 1.8 reactance circle, this is 1.6 reactance circle. But here in between this this reactance circle and this reactance circle, there is a one more circle. You see here, this is a circle here. Okay, that is equal to 1.7. Actually, some value is written here. This is not for that reactance circle, it is for susceptance circle. Okay, 0.9 something written here, it is not for reactance. Actually, it is reactance circle is this 1.8, this is a 1.6, so it is 1.7 this. So reactance value is 1.7 here, 1.7. I want 1.78, approximately it comes here only, I marked here. Okay, on the speed chart you try to locate it. Okay, see, like this, approximately 1.7 here I have marked. So this is a required value of reactance. I needed this value of reactance. Okay, what I did, I moved like this, I go on moving, reactance value changes. So starting from here, I go on moving like this, reactance value changes. Okay, but I want a reactance value equal to 1.78. So reactance here is 1.1 year, reactance is 1 year. This is 1.2 reactance circle, this is 1.4, 1.6 here, but I want 1.7, so this is 1. Stop here, stop this here, stop here. Okay, next I go on moving like this. I found some distance here, reactance value is 1.784. I stopped here, I stopped here. Next, what I have to do, I have to find out what is the distance from here to here. So I moved like this and I stopped here whenever the reactance value is 1.78. I stopped here. But what I have to do, I should find out what is the distance from here to here. So what how to do that? Okay, so you should measure the distance from load to your value here. Okay, so for that what we have to do, draw a line. See, like this, wavelength scale passing through our load. This is a load. Okay, you should draw a line. So here okay, so sorry, this is a little bit. Okay, so draw a line passing through the load point. So this is a load point, you draw a line passing through the load point, intersect the wavelength scale somewhere. See, it is intersecting wavelength scale somewhere here. Okay, here wavelength scale 0 here. Then what we have to do, measure the distance from here to our required value of reactance. What is the required value? This value. So we stopped here. Okay, because 1.6, 1.8, 1.7 is there. So as we move over the VSWR circle, go on moving till your required value of reactance is found. Okay, we found our reactance at this position, so we stopped here. So you draw a line again passing through this point. So from the center of the Smith chart, you draw a line to reach the wavelength scale. See here, this is the wavelength scale. Okay, you stopped here. You measure the distance now from here load point to this. So it is 0 anyway here. So as you go on moving like this, the value 0.16. This is each division is 0.002. So 0.162, 0.164. Okay, this is behind, little bit behind that. What is that value here? It is a 0.1645 lambda. I took approximately that value here. Okay, 0.16. This is a 0.162, 0.164. Okay, but it is behind that, not 0.166. Behind the 0.166. So I took a 0.1645 lambda. Okay, this value. So the distance. So what is the distance from here to here? That is equal to this in terms of wavelength, because on the Smith chart we are getting in terms of wavelength. So this is the value. So we got that length, distance. So from here, what is the distance up to this? So we go on moving like this. Whenever we observe the required value of reactance, we stopped. Moving over a transmission line like this means moving over a VSWR circle in the clockwise direction. So we moved like this. Whenever we found our reactance, required reactance, we stopped here and we measured the distance from load point to here. Load means a short circuit, so it is a point here. So from here to here, what is the distance we measured? So that is equal to 0.1645 lambda. So to get an actual distance, you should multiply this value by lambda. What is the value of lambda? 30 mm. We got 30 mm. This one, for this particular problem, we did 30 mm. So multiply this lambda with this value, we will be getting this 4.9 mm. 4.9 mm. So what is the length here? 4.9 mm. To get a 1.78. 1.7 means 1.78 mm, 1.784 reactance. That means 2.2 nanohenry. Our value is 2.2 nanohenry inductor. Okay, actually actual reactance is 82.9, but on the Smith chart, to mark it on the Smith chart, we divided this by 50 characteristic impedance. We got 1.784 reactance. Okay, so if you get this value, normalized reactance equal to this, it is equivalent to 2.2 nanohenry at 6 gigahertz. Okay, so this is equivalent to 2.2 nanohenry at 6 gigahertz. So length of the line we got 4.9 mm. So that we also got using equation. So this is a equation. Using equation, we got that value 4.8 mm, 4.88 mm, like this. It is a 4.9. Okay. So we got a 4.9 mm here. 4.9 mm. So take a short circuited line. Okay. You set the length equal to 4.9 mm. What we will observe, input impedance is equal to 2.2 nanohenry inductor. This transmission line behaves like an inductor with a value equal to 2.2 nanohenry. Okay, so we can find the length of the line easily from the Smith chart. Only thing what we have to do, take a given inductor, okay, find out its reactance like this. How to find out reactance? This is the equation. Find the inductance value and normalize this. We will be getting some value. Okay, like this. So first we get this value. Take a given inductor, find the reactance, normalize this value. We will be getting this. Okay. After getting this, what we have to do? On the Smith chart. This is a Smith chart. Start from the load point. Always this is a load point. For shorted stub, this is the point. Okay. So from here, go on moving like this. Go on moving. Starting from here, go on. Whatever it may be, the value you get here. Start from here, okay, go on moving like this and stop wherever it comes. Okay, you measure the distance from here to here, that's all. Okay, once you do, it becomes very easy instead of using this equation. Okay, equation is a tough, sometimes calculated problem or your problem. Okay, so you can easily find this. Only thing is, you should get a normalized reactance, this value. First you get a reactance based on your inductor value. normalize this, you get this value. Once we get this value, what we have to do, just to start from this point, it is always known point, you mark just it, okay, on the Smith chart, and then over this rim last line you go on moving like this. Whenever this value comes, you stop and note down the resistance. From here it is always 0 here, no problem. So whatever the value you observe here, that is the distance whatever you come here. So it is 0.16, whatever here you get, that is our length of the line in terms of lambda. Multiply that by wavelength, so you can easily get this length, okay, from the Smith chart. So this is a way of designing inductor from the inductor or any capacitor also. Similar way we have to do based on your capacitance value. Okay, we will do one more problem similar to this, okay, that problem, then we will see. Okay, here is the problem here. Okay, create a stub line which will act as an equivalent inductance of 1 nanohenry. This also we did using equation. See this equation. What I want an inductor of 1 nanohenry at 3 gigahertz. Z0 is a 50 ohm. Characteristic impedance of the transmission line is 50 ohm. I want an inductor of 1 nanohenry. Okay, at 3 gigahertz. Okay, what is the you have to design the stub. Design the stub means transmission line, short circuited transmission line we have to implement. Only thing is you should find out what is this length of the stub. How to find out that? You can do it easily from the Smith chart. Okay, to do that, what we have to do, you take a given inductor, 1 nanohenry is required. Get a reactance value. What is the reactance value? Omega L. Okay, 2 pi of L, 2 pi FL. I have done this. Okay, what is the reactance? 18.84. This is the reactance. Okay, but you are using Smith chart. This is actual reactance. Divide this by characteristic impedance. This is a characteristic 50 ohm. Okay, what is the reactance value I got? 0.376. Okay, this is the reactance I needed equivalent to this inductor. 1 nanohenry normalized reactance is 0.376. Okay, this is the reactance value needed. So now so I want input reactance equal to sorry, I did here. We need a reactance value of 0.376. Okay, 0.376 is the reactance needed. To get the 1 nanohenry, reactance is 0.376. So what we have to get a length? So just what we did, found the reactance, normalized it. I want this much of reactance. What is the length of the line? Okay, to find that from the Smith chart, what we have to do? Shorted point. This is always load point, and this is a VSWR circle. Need not to draw in the examination. This need not to draw this, because it is always coincides with this R is equal to 0 circle. Just you start from here, 0 point, 0 impedance point, and more go on moving like this. Go on moving like this. Whenever your reactance value is this, sorry again, I did here. This is a 0.376. So what is the value reactance? 0.376 I wanted here. You stop whenever the reactance value is this value. So I started from here, I go on moving. It is a 0.1 here, reactance. This is a 0.1 reactance circle. 0.1 reactance circle. This is 0.2 reactance circle. See, 0.2. Reactance, this is not reactance value. This is a susceptance value. So you should take outside, whatever written outside of this circle. So it is 0.2. This is 0.3 reactance circle value, 0.3 here, this circle. But I want a 0.376. So how many divisions I should move here? This is 0.4. This is 0.4 circle. So this is automatically 0.38, this circle, 0.38 circle. So this is, I took somewhere here. This is a 3 here, 0.3. This is 0.3 circle. This circle is 0.3 reactance. Okay. And this is a 0.32, 0.34, 0.36. Okay, 0.37 maybe approximately here I took, because it is 0.4, this is a 0.38, this reactance circle 0.38. Okay, so this is a 0.37 reactance, maybe, so one more circle I took a little behind that. So like you mark that point here. So I stopped here. So I go on moving like this. I need this reactance. I stopped here. I measure the distance from here, load value, started point. So this is a 1. Here to here, what is the distance? Okay, how to do that? You draw a line passing through here to the wavelength scale. This is 0 only always. Okay, and draw a line passing through the this wavelength scale here. Stop here. This is 0.05, and what is this? Each division 0.002. So it is 0.052, 0.054, 0.056, 0.0566. I took some intermediate value, 0.66 lambda wavelength scale. Okay, so that is a distance from here to this much distance. So like we moved like this, and wherever your reactance found here, we stopped and we measured the distance from here to here. So that is this value. Multiply by lambda, you will be getting 100 mm here. This is 100 mm what we got. 10 centimeter means 100 mm. Okay, 100 mm here. So 100 mm multiply, that is 5.66 mm. So what is the length of the line from here to here? That is 5.66 mm. So if you set the length of the line equal, you take a transmission line, okay, shorted line, and set a length equal to 5.6 mm you take. Okay, that input impedance is 1 nanohenry at 3 gigahertz. At 3 gigahertz, it offers an inductor value of 1 nanohenry. Okay, so like that, just we found this length, that's all. It looks like there is a inductor here in between these two terminal. There is a inductor here. Okay, it behaves like that. Only we set this length, and it is easy from the Smith chart. Okay, so as we like, just to find a reactance, normalized reactance we find. Okay, to get this reactance, what is the length of the line? To find this, it is easy from the Smith chart. This is a short circuited point. Okay, from here we should move like this. Okay, wherever you found our value, stop. Okay, you will be getting the length. So okay, like this we can find length of the stub instead of using equation. So otherwise what we have to do, you should use this equation, you should remember this equation, you should calculate properly tan inverse and all these things, okay, to get this value. This is 5.7, so we got here 5.66. 5.66 means it is a 5.7 approximately. Because of I error, we can't fix exactly this. Okay, 5.66, and that is 5.7, that we got from this equation also. Okay, instead of using this, you can easily obtain that from the Smith chart. Okay, whatever the whatever inductor value given, you can do like this. Similarly, for capacitor also, same way we have to do for capacitor. Okay, just find the reactance of the capacitance. Okay, negative reactance usually 1 by j omega c. Okay, what xc, jxc is equal to 1 by j omega c. 1 by j omega c means it will become negative reactance. Okay, negative value of reactance based on capacitance, we will be getting negative reactance. Only thing is we stop wherever your reactance value achieved. See here I want a 0.376, I stopped here. If it is 3, what we have to, I have to stop here. X value is 3, normalized X value 3, I should stop here. See, this is a 3, X value. Okay, it is X value is 4 here, whatever the value. And if you want a minus value, for example, I want a minus 4, reactance value is a minus 4, then it will come here. But measure the distance only from here. You should measure the distance from here only, and should be in the clockwise direction like this. Go on measuring, wherever your reactance value appear, you stop. For example, it is 5, minus 5. Minus 5 means what I have to do? We did a normalized reactance. Okay, it may be capacitor. The value you got is a minus 5. Then what we have to do? You should stop here. This is a 5, minus 5 here. minus 5. You should stop here. Find out the distance from here up to this, whatever the here, starting go on measuring distance from here, go on doing like this. You stop here, measure the distance from here to here, minus 5 reactance value. Stop and find out the distance. If you set that distance, it gives the reactance value equal to normalized reactance minus 5. That may be corresponding to some capacitor value, like that. Okay, so reactance values are here. Okay, so read positive values we will be getting, and below are the negative values here. Okay, even negative values comes, you should stop wherever your negative value of reactance appears. Okay, that means it is in the below part of this Smith chart. But distance you should measure from here only. This is the starting point to measure the. You should move from here only and measure the total distance wherever you stop, based on your reactance value needed. So that is a shortest stub. Like a shortest stub can be used for implementing a inductor and a capacitor of any value. If a capacitor comes, we will be getting negative reactance values. If an inductor, usually positive reactance values we will be getting. Okay, so based on inductor or a capacitor, length of the line will be different. Okay, that's all. You have to find out that length from the Smith chart. You can do it easily. Okay, so this is the that is short circuited stub. How to implement inductor and capacitor using short stubs. Only thing is normalized reactance you should find out. Okay, first you find out the actual reactance, then you find a normalized reactance. To get that normalized reactance, what is the length of the line? That is starting from our load point, move on the VSWR. This is VSWR for the shorted load. Go on moving. Wherever our required value of reactance comes, you stop and measure the distance from load to that particular point, wherever it may be. It may be here now in this, for example. Okay, so like that. Okay, similarly, this we can also do for open circuited stubs also. Open circuit stub we can use to implement a inductor and capacitor. This today what we learned, how to use a short circuited stub. Short circuited stub means always your starting point here, length you should measure from here, because our load point is here. Okay, and the length based on an inductor or a capacitor, length of the line will be different based on values, and based on the inductor or capacitor, this length will change. Okay, that we can get from here. Okay, so this is implementing a stub. They are called also stub, implementing inductor and capacitor using stub. And what we learned here, short circuit stub, how to use a short circuit stub to implement a inductor and capacitor. Okay, in the next class we will study how to use a open circuited stub. Open stubs can also be used to implement the inductor and capacitor. That also we studied. We can, instead of short like this, you can use a open. I already told what is the advantage of open stubs. Okay, using open open circuited transmission line or open stubs, we can implement the inductor and capacitor. Okay, that we will see in the next class. Okay. Okay, is audible? Am I audible? Hello.